Hey y'all, Samantha. Sam I am, Swirls and Swags, Door Decor. Welcome. Today we're going to be making a rag wreath. I am using two different fabrics, a blue and a gray, and I am cutting my fabric at 1.5 inches wide by 8 inches long. I'm using 2 yards of fabric. This material does not have a pattern or a front and back because it's the same on both sides. So when I cut mine at 1.5 inches wide, I then rip. That rip is what creates your rag look, and so you will have a lot of strings. Now you can remove a lot. You can make this pretty and not a rag wreath by cutting it, but ripping it gives it that rag look, and that's what we're going for in this design. So I rip all my pieces, and then we'll move forward and add them to the wreath in just a few minutes. By the way, this is a wash, dry, fold, repeat washroom, laundry room wreath, and one reason my customer wanted this custom design is because it is fabric and it goes well in a washroom. So now I'm doing the second piece of fabric which is a gray color, and I'm still cutting and ripping. If you was doing a bigger size wreath, this is a 12-inch base I'm using, you could do bigger. You'll need longer fabric, etc. And also, if you have a pattern fabric, you'll want to pay attention to the way that you're going to fold those pieces coming up. So just going to continue on with the ripping and the cutting and stacking them up. And I'll see you in the next video section. Thanks for watching, y'all. Okay, in this section is where you've got a fabric that is got a front and back, or you've got a certain pattern. You will want to pay attention to how you fold and tie your pieces to your wreath frame. So as I'm cutting still, I'm explaining to you what I'm going to do and what I've been doing here and there, because I'm jumping around a little bit. So I'm still cutting all my pieces to the same length and all the same widths. So anyway, when you go to tie on your fabric, if it has a printed side or a front and back differential, you'll want to pay attention and fold it in the right direction where your pattern is to the outside. I do fold each strip just in half, and then I tie it just around the frame, and I use rings. There's 4 rings on a wire frame. So I've got the outer 1 and 2, and then I use the inner 2 and 3, and then I use the very inside 3 and 4. So you're going to be tying around those 3 bars, and you can either tie it in a knot straight around, or you can do what's called a slip knot, like you kind of see me doing there, where you pull like a U shape, and then you pull the fabric through the horseshoe kind of look, if you will. And if you do that, you're going to have a knot. I like the knot to be on the outside, as I think that looks better. It's prettier. Otherwise, you're going to see just 2 random fabrics going through a U shape, if you will. So to me, the slip knot on the outside, or just tie it around the frame. Now, I also used 12 on each 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. So it gave me a total of 36 pieces within that one section between each bar. And so just to give you a heads up, that's what I did, and that's how many I used. In this video on my live, I said I could have put a few more. Some people were putting a little less. So it just depends on how full or how little full you would like yours to look. So I don't know if I really did put more, but at least I did do 12 on each row of 1, 2, 2, 3, and 3, 4. But that gave me 36. You could add a few more if you wanted to. That's strictly up to you. So I used, when I went around my bar, since I have 2 colors, I did all row of blue, and then when I went back, I did a row of the gray, brown as a gray. So I did a row of that. Then I go back and I just repeat that. If it's all the same color or all the same pattern, then it really doesn't matter, you know. But because I used 2 different colors, I tied my blue on 1 and 2, 2 and 3, and 3 and 4. Then I started back over on 1 and 2 and used the other color and went down. And then I just kept repeating that cycle. And so that's the explanation of how I did mine. There's a million ways to do anything, so you know, whatever solution or option you like best. And the reason I brought out this towel, because I have a glass on my tabletop, on my desktop, and so with the wire frame it's ching ching ching, so that's why you see me put that fabric down, just for that very purpose, so it didn't cause a lot of noise on the video when I was live. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, by all means, drop them in the comments below, and I will respond as soon as I can to any questions or comments on the video. Or maybe you have suggestions. Maybe you did a different unique technique. A unique technique. Either way. Yeah, let me know what you did or what you would do. So, again, this is a 12-inch wreath frame, and they call it a box frame because it's just very flat. There's no, you know, it's got very little curve in it. So they're called a wreath frame, a box wreath frame. And you can get these at Dollar Tree, or you could. I think Dollar Tree. The reason I painted the other side, I really because it had that man and woman on the other side. Swap it up all the time. Throw that in there. Very hard to find the cute patterns that used to sell. But anyway, back to the video. I think that's what else? I was just making sure I gave you the notes that I needed to. So we'll watch this out for the rest. Hang on. I know you've seen me hold up these little squares that I have left over, because when I cut my 8 inches of length, I ended up with like 2 inches extra per strip. And I was saying that you can use those pieces to make a different type of wreath, where you literally poke it into like a styrofoam or one of those green styrofoam rings, or you know, and it makes, you take the square and you're like, you make a hole in the styrofoam and then you hot glue those pieces into those holes, and it kind of leaves like the little edges poking out, and that's a different type of rag wreath. But that's why I kept showing those pieces, going like, we can use these. Why? Because y'all, we're a crafter. We're not throwing nothing away. We can use it. There's different needs, different techniques, so there's that. So if you think of something else that you could use those pieces for, let me know that. Put them in the comments, y'all. If you notice, I keep showing the back side as well. So the reason I'm showing you the back is because it makes a pretty pattern on the back as well. It almost looks like a braid, the way it's woven, like a basket kind of. So that is also a pretty technique where you could do it the opposite way to get the opposite look. But I was just letting you know that's another way that you could do it. Also, if you need to see something I'm showing but need it slower, click the gear icon at the bottom of this video and you can slow it way down or you can speed it way up. So if you need to see how I'm actually tying something or what have you, there is that option to slow it down and speed it up even faster if you so need to. I appreciate you watching, y'all. Okay, we're back. We got the wreath made, and we're going to make a bow and a sign to go on our wash, dry, fold, repeat, vicious cycle of laundry duties. I hate laundry, y'all. I don't know. What's your worst chore that, you know, you just totally do not like? Mine is laundry. Alright, so anyway, I'm prepping my sign. This is a Dollar Tree little board that has a man, woman, bathroom type sign. So I decided to use it. It was about the same. It was the right size for what I wanted. So anyway, I'm prepping it, and I'm going to paint one side blue and one side black, because I like to paint if it needs it. Now, not all signs need painted on the back. I don't know. I felt like that one did for whatever reason. Maybe it had something on it. Anyway, so the light blue, and I actually, once I get all my paint on there, I go in and I just take a paintbrush and make little swirls to make them look like bubbles, like laundry soap bubbles. It really turns out cute. And I also use my silhouette to cut out vinyl letters for the wash, dry, vicious cycle of laundry repeat, you know, that thing. So that is a heat gun that I use to dry the paint, and you can use a hair dryer if you don't have one. But if you do have a heat gun, or you get a heat gun, you're not used to one, they do get very, very hot. Please be careful with children and animals, because that tip is fire hot. So there's a low high on it, but it does do a great job, and it does it quick. So let's see what happens. Hang on. I totally forgot about this paint I used, but this is from Folk Art. It is called Extreme Glitter. It's hologram. The number I have is 2796E, and it gives that shimmer look like bubbles. So I thought, yes. And I wanted to make sure I told you on here, because I know the video's sped up. And but that is also a very cool color to use for like something Halloweeny, where you wanted to have that like hologram glow. It's really a cool paint. You have to check it out. It's by Folk Art. Hologram glitter. It's not like shedding glitter or nothing. It's just glitter shimmer. It's very cool. Okay, here's our silhouette part of it that I was trying to show everybody how I was making mine and how I was cutting it out and sizing it, etc. So if you have a silhouette or a Cricut, either one, they're the same, but you know, different machines, same process. But this is what I did, and then we had to choose. My customer was on live with us, so she was trying to choose color patterns and which way she wanted it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hang on for the ending. Okay, we're on the last section of our design here. I've actually got the vinyl of our wash, dry, fold, repeat sign, and I am getting ready to weed. We just pull out the letters off of the vinyl, take out the little circles and such, if you're not familiar, and then we're going to attach it to our sign that's been painted. And if I ain't mistaken, I iron it on so it'll stay even nicer. So let's watch. If you're new to Cricut or Silhouette and you're trying to transfer your vinyl to the transfer tape is almost like a sticky shelf tape. A lot of people use shelving tape from the dollar store instead of going and buying high dollar, but you know, either way works. All it is a tape that holds your vinyl in place, so you can take it off of the vinyl sheet and place it on your sign or what have you that you're making. It makes it easy. So that's what that's about. And then picking all those little spots out of your little O's or your E's, that can be a little tedious depending on the font. So yeah, lots of fun. Crash course. It's always something fun with that. I don't know. Some people love to weed, and it's just exactly that, weeding out what you don't need. Alright, so I was showing you the sign, and I do go and iron it. I thought I did, and I don't know what temperature. Y'all go high, you know, you're not going to leave it on there but a second or two, and that Gold paper is a, hang on and I'll tell you. Maybe, maybe not. Words are hard. Okay, after further research, y'all, a Teflon, it just don't seem like that's the whole word, but Teflon, it's just it comes with most vinyl that you can buy. I've gotten it a couple of times when I've ordered online. But anyway, if you don't have it, just use like a parchment. Don't use wax paper because wax melts. You want to use a parchment, and so just make sure you're not getting anything stuck to your iron. Here's my macamus. Alright, y'all, there is our sign. I did go around the letters with like a little tannish acrylic paint just to make it pop a little better. And then I used that holographic right there. That is the best looking like bubbles, or you know what I'm saying. It's got that shimmer. It is cool. I love the rag wreath. I love making rag bows. Y'all, this is a fun project and it's very easy. It is time consuming just because of the strips, but very quick and easy as far as, well, it's easy. But now I'm making a bow. I've got a burlap 2.5 inch burlap ribbon, and then I've got that gray, it's a 1.5, and then I've got a blue that's a 1.5. So the burlap, I did a loop on each side, and I cut our dovetails, and I did the gray with 2 loops on each side with the tails. And then on our blue, I did 2 loops and a fake loop in the center to hide all our zip ties and pipe cleaners that you'll see attached in here in a minute. And don't make fun of my handmade bow maker there. I lost my other one, which my stepdaughter had. She had it and 1 peg and tried to make a bow. That was fun. Anyway, yeah, this is a fun project. I hope you give it a try, and if you do, let me know. But I do use zip ties, and you can use pipe cleaners. I use both, just whatever you want, and attach it to the back of, you know, from the front through the back of your design. Y'all, I appreciate you watching. Share it with your friends. Have a great day. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Have a great one.